How you do one thing is how you do everything. Now, even though I didn't have the best trading week, I have the $20,000 account, and I'm still looking to make a decent amount of money this week. That's a Cullinan behind me. I'm gonna find him. He just turned right. We're about to go hunting for a Cullinan. This just went from a POV to a mission. If we were wrong and price was gonna make its run for this low, you just would have been wrong. But also, you're putting yourself in a position where all you really need is a 1 to 2. All you really needed was for price to go all the way back to this New York high. Like a real office style vibe, but I want to do it the right way. I tried to do it a few times, but it hasn't been getting done. I'm also getting another whiteboard for like educational stuff for the content, like more something I can do. Because I like to use that whiteboard, but I also, like I said, I don't want to erase that stuff on there. Right now it's approximately about 5:30. Drive-through channels, why not? High news week on high news weeks such as NFP. We have a lot of choppy days that lead up to the day that has that volume, such as Friday. Morning, everybody, and welcome back to another video. Today it is Sunday. We are about to hop on to our educational call. We're gonna hop on to the back testing session. So you're gonna be introduced to a lot of free game in the next couple of minutes. So yeah, I hope you take advantage of it, but it is approximately 9 in the morning as of right now. I got the call and everything started with the team. So if you want to be able to get access to these calls, get access to the one-on-one calls that I also have to do later on today, make sure you apply the first link in the description. But with that being said, I don't really got too much to yap about. We just gonna have a great weekend. We'll have a great Sunday. We continue doing the things that keep in this position, go to work in terms of content, go to the gym, give value to the team, and just get ready for the week. So that's what we're gonna do. So like I said, enjoy the free game, and I'll see you in the charts. It was choppy as fuck. Choppy as fuck. And we're gonna go over it. So starting off with Monday, we're gonna be trading Monday. We're gonna do the same thing, mark up the previous highs and lows for the previous day, which will be Friday. First thing I noticed, what do you guys see? I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. Let's take a guess at what time it happened though. 10 o'clock, I say 10. 10 o'clock on the dot. We'll just look at that. But yeah, first thing I noticed, I'm gonna kind of annotate it. So at 10 in the morning, we had a false break of this previous day's low. That is the first thing that I noticed, and off rip, it's a decent confirmation. If we take it a step further, look to the right, we also have 42,000 big figure level right here. Like this, like that. We got 42,000. That's 42,200. 42,200 big figure level, which is also another confirmation for why price had its reaction from this little area. So as right now, I'm just stacking up reasons for why price had its reaction did. People always ask, how do you have the confidence in your trades? How do you know it works? Because I go into the charts and I look at what happened. These are the same trades I'd be willing to take in the future. And by going back into the past, understanding the times that it happened, understanding the type of setup, in this case, a false break, understanding the big figure level, which is an extra confirmation. It was 42,000. It wasn't even 42,200. I'm tripping. It was 42,000. I was looking up here. But 42,000, which is even not a bigger big figure level, but it's a stronger big figure level in my opinion, because it's a whole number. And you can see the reaction I had. Just off of this 10 o'clock with a false break at 42,000, that's enough for you to be willing to take a trade. Now, in my opinion, the only reason that would have made this trade a little bit risky was the fact that the overall trend at this point was a little bit more bearish than bullish. That would have really been the only concern, because from trying to buy at this low, even if you would have been bullish and everything, you would have been going against the overall trend from like the last couple of days. Now, overall, yeah, it's overall bullish, but who was saying that this was going to be the day that it was going to just start flying back up? You never really know. It's just a probability game. You also take it a step further. Let me mark up the Asian session range because it's not marked up over here. Yeah, Asian session range didn't really play too big of a part on a day like this. The main area is down here. So now let's see if we would have been able to catch it with our 50 to 100 point stop loss we usually use on US 30. The safest possible spot you could have got into, I wouldn't have got in as soon as it hit 42,000, because the only way I'm getting into a trade is if we have a false break or for value gap fill. I don't care if it's at the right time. I don't care if you have other confirmations. I at least need bare minimum a false break or for value gap fill. In this case, if we would have had a 100 point stop on this trade, I think 100 would have been the safest bet. 50 looks like it probably wouldn't have been shit. Yeah, 50 doesn't even look like it would have been a lot. 100 points would have made it so where if we were wrong and price was going to make its run for this low, we just would have been wrong. But also, you're putting yourself in a position where all you really need is a 1 to 2. All you really needed was for price to go all the way back to this New York high up here. you really didn't really need much. So it's a good trade idea. And these are trades that, in my opinion, it's good trades. Like, these are trades I would be willing to take again. It's just like I said, I don't like when it's not with the overall trend, because I would have been 100% way more likely willing to buy if the last couple of days were bullish and we ran those lows. But the fact that it was bearish is counter trend, but that doesn't take anything away from the setup in itself. It's still something that can happen again. It's still something that's going to happen again. But 10 in the morning, you had a false break of the previous day's low. Traded it to 42,000. Like I said, the only thing that would have made this even cleaner is if the previous days were also bullish. That's really it. You don't got to overcomplicate it. It can be as simple as that. I tell people, not even tell people, I tell my students, because I was going over yesterday about false breaks. So the people that watch the vlog, you might kind of know what I'm talking about. But the false breaks tend to give you the best risk rewards. They tend to give you the better trades, the better sniper entries. But also keep in mind, you're not always going to catch a move this cleanly. You're also probably going to take some L's trying to catch it, because this same situation that ran this low, it could have ran this low too. It could have. And next time, it might just run that low, and it might stop me out at the 100 points and still go up. And just got to understand, it's a probability game. Find things that are going to constantly happen over time. Find things that you can constantly replicate. Because, like I said, this is something that you could have got your 1 to 2, but this also went all the way up to a 1 to 4. It also just kept running until the previous days. This is something that you still could be holding to this day. So I need you to understand the power in that. That day trade that you took could have been a long-term position that you were holding. That's up 10 times what you're risking, right? People always ask, how do you hold your trades? How do you have the confidence that your trades can go that long? Leave a runner, because a lot of these trades that you notice you take out at 1 to 1, you take out at 1 to 2. A lot of time they might just keep on going. You just got to keep in mind risk reward. Are you okay with the fact that it might come all the way back down and break you even? Are you okay with the fact that you might have almost been up 5 times what you're risking, and then it came all the way back and pulled back to a 1 to 2? Would you have got out? Would you have held? There's a whole bunch of things that come into it. But in terms of the system, in terms of the setup, false break at 10 in the morning of the previous low into 42,000 big figure level is a counter trend trade. But if it was following the overall trend, smooth trade. It doesn't have to be any more complicated than that. You'll know you're profitable when you've actually become profitable. Like, even getting 1 payout, 2 payouts, you can get 5 payouts and just never get a payout after that. I would say once you can consistently, once you know yourself, because I can't tell you when you're going to be confident in yourself. It's really like a to each their own, because you might think you're ready. You might think you're ready to leave your job. You're just wrong. And that's the honest truth. Like, you may think you're ready and then end up being wrong, but it's like, you don't know when you're really ready. It's just, you take the leap. I say the best thing for you to do is have money saved up, so that it's just managing the risk, so that if you aren't ready, if you are wrong, you already planned for that ahead of time versus starting too early. I've left multiple jobs thinking I was ready just for me to be wrong. And I was confident. Trust. I was confident enough to leave the job. I was confident I was going to get payouts. Sometimes the confidence is what's going to allow you to take that next step, but it doesn't mean that you actually know what you're doing yet. You know when you know. Like, once you start getting some payouts, not even passing accounts. Passing accounts, anybody could pass an account. Consistently get payouts and have money saved to where you can actually live and have the time to focus on this, not having to be forced to make money. That's the position you want to put yourself in. Trust this. I'll tell you this. You're going to be grateful for that job once you don't have it. And that's usually how it is. Because the one thing about trading is there's no guarantee, nothing. You leave this job, there is no guarantee you're going to get paid. You got no benefits. You don't got shit. But right now with your job, it's guaranteed you can at least build something to do it the right way. Because trading, there's no guarantee. You could be a full-time trader and know exactly what you're doing, and you could lose a whole lot of money for 2 months, 3 months straight. And that's someone that can know exactly what they're doing. At least a job, there is that sustainability of having income no matter what. It's when it's supposed to, not when you want it to. And that's the truth of it. Like, especially with a job, it's like, people don't want the job. Trust me, nobody wants to work, but you'll appreciate it once it's gone. Trust me, I hate working. I would rather be poor, figuring shit out, whatever way, than have a job and be comfortable. But I got to the point where I'm like, I can't even do this no more. I gotta go back to work. And I'm the last person. I went into credit card debt, all of that shit. Still had to go back to get a job. First, if I just would have stayed with the one job, made that shit work, did it the right way, wouldn't have had to work another job after that. Like he said, perspective. You could look at your job as a burden, or you could look at it as the thing that's going to allow you to get to that next level. Like I said, you never know. Like, people, when am I going to be profitable? When am I going to be? You don't know. You could take that risk and just fuck yourself. There was no saying it was going to happen right now. But you won't know until you try it. That's why, like I said, keep that job because it's the best bet. Best bet, man. Think about Cal. Cal been trading the longest, and he still works. He's been trading longer than all of us, and he's voluntarily still part time works. Voluntarily does it. And bro doesn't have to. He bought a car for Toro. He has Airbnbs, and bro still part time work. He better than me. But hey, he's smarter than me also. So there you go.
Great game, straight game. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed those little clips and everything. The one thing I might add some of the Q&A in there, because one thing I do, yeah, you get the idea. Whenever we have like basically the educational sessions like this where we're going over charts, where we're going over any concepts, I always have a Q&A at the end to kind of have them ask me questions, and I'm gonna show you guys a lot of Q&A because they have some good questions that in my opinion are gonna be very good to understanding the reality of trading, the reality of being a full-time trader, trying to leave your job, trying to become a profitable trader, like all of that stuff. So yeah, we spent like 25 minutes on that Q&A, so yeah, but I'm about to upload this for the people that didn't make it. So yeah, 50 minutes of game. If you weren't there, you're lost. But we about to get the rest of the day started, probably shower up and everything. I think my girlfriend has work later on, so we might be doing stuff beforehand. I don't know, but first piece of the morning is done. I got my motivation, got my inspiration. I feel good, got the energy. Let's keep it going. All right, so right now I'm chilling on the balcony. Girlfriend's at work, and it's just me, the dogs, and myself. So we got done a lot of content. Let me put this into perspective for you. I started getting content scheduled and posted at 11 a.m. I have a piece of content on Instagram getting posted every single hour until 12 a.m. So that could put into perspective the amount of content I'm posting. That puts into perspective how you do one thing is how you do everything. I'm going hard with the daily content. I'm going hard with Instagram. I'm going hard with YouTube. I'm going hard with my team, with my chat, with my students, with the trading, everything. How you do one thing is how you do everything. Now, even though I didn't have the best trading week, I have the $20,000 account, and I'm still looking to make a decent amount of money this week. I'm still looking to really make some money. So with that being said, we gonna make it happen. But with that being said also, I'm right now on, what is it? Amazon, looking at a whole bunch of different things. I told you guys in yesterday's video, I wanna rearrange my room a little bit, but I wanna redo it like a real office style vibe. But I wanna do it the right way. I tried to do it a few times, but it hasn't been getting done the right way. This wind is blowing my camera tripod. But yeah, that's the idea right now. I'm gonna show you guys what I got in a little bit, but so far I only have 6 items and we're at $250. And it's a whole bunch of little shit. The biggest thing I got is a rug that I'm hoping will be big enough to fit that room. I'm probably gonna have to like do measurements and shit just to make sure I'm 100% right. And then I got a new light that's gonna help me like with lighting and stuff in that room, because the sun makes it very hard to have lighting in certain angles, so having a light like that, especially at nighttime, is very beneficial. But I'll keep you guys updated. I got one-on-one calls starting at 3:30, so I'm gonna wait to go to the gym until after that, so I kind of have like about 40 minutes, so I'm just gonna focus on this. Probably do some shit in that office, and I'll probably see you over there, because that's probably where I'm gonna be doing the calls. All right, we made it to the office and everything. I ain't gonna lie, after going through everything I think I need to like redo the office, I gotta add a couple, I wanna add a drawer, because I have a whole bunch of stuff on my desk that needs to just be put in places, if that makes sense. So let me see. Yeah, I didn't realize I was gonna be spending a decent amount of money, and this is me spending a lot of money, not even buying nothing like crazy. Like the most expensive thing that I have in this cart is a desk and a chair and a rug. Those three in itself is probably like $400 or $500. I'm gonna add everything in here together. I'm waiting for a student to reply back to my call, and then we're gonna hop on that one-on-one. So yeah, I'm gonna give you a little walkthrough of everything that I got right now on my list. All right, so this is what we're at. It's a $978 basket that has a drawer. I'm also getting a plant. I want to get a bigger plant. I got basically a battery for the camera that you're watching, but instead of it being a battery that charges, it's something that plugs in, so I can record longer form video without having to worry about it. Getting another whiteboard, because the whiteboard over there, I don't want to erase that stuff, and I don't want to erase it because I also want to put it onto a stand. But I bought 2 stands because I'm also getting another whiteboard for like educational stuff, for the content, like more something I could do, because I like to use that whiteboard, but I also, like I said, I don't want to erase that stuff on there, so I want to keep that like that. There's a student replying for his call in about 4 minutes. Getting a new keyboard, a wireless keyboard, because the keyboards I have are wired and they're all dirty, and I just think it makes more sense. I'm gonna get a new wireless one just to make my life easier. getting a little office chair, nothing too crazy. I was looking at like those Lamborghini chairs, and it was like stealth chairs, bro. Them shits be like $600-700. I'm not spending that much on a chair that I might not even use that much. So we're gonna start off with this ergonomic, whatever it's called. Should be good for my back. I got a stand for my other monitor because I only have one monitor stand, which is why I kind of have the monitor setup that I do. Then a desk, I'm getting a L-shaped corner desk, but it's also a sit-standing desk, so that's gonna be nice. And I'm trying to get a very big black rug. I gotta measure this one, but this one should be like 9 by 12 foot, but I don't know if that's gonna be big enough. Something for a cable so I can have everything on the sit-stand desk easily there. For the laptop to hold it, because I don't even have a PC. I have a laptop. This is gonna be running all of this. A little mat, and then I got 2 little phone stands. Yeah, and that was damn near $1,000. So ain't that some shit? But right now we're about to hop onto this call. I think I'm gonna order all the stuff afterwards just so I can make sure there's not anything else I want to order or get through. So yeah, let's hop onto this call. I need to charge my phone. But yeah, no days off. Now yeah, it's 9:30 for you. It's a late night for you. So wait, if it's 9 o'clock right now, it's about to be Monday for you in a couple hours then?
Yeah.
That's weird how it works. Like it's about to be Monday for you. Is the market's not open for you yet? So the market opens for you while you're asleep.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And it's been like that for it's crazy how the time zones in the world work and shit. Because right now it's 3 in the afternoon for me. 3 in the afternoon.
It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy for me because like when I wakes up, like it's around maybe 7 a.m. or something because I have school and everything, and I'm just like realizing like what's up. It's like first a.m. for Dre, yeah. You know, it's like basically middle of the night for you, and like it's 7 a.m. for me. Yes.
Take a trade if you're not confident in the trade. That's one way I would use it so that you don't have to, especially since it's your first combine like ever for the most part. Trades that you're not going to be as certain on, you still have the practice count. You can still take it over there so you don't feel like forced to try to do it on there because you don't have to feel forced to do anything. You don't got to do anything. So that's what you can kind of use that account for instead of kind of practicing on it first since you're just going to trade the combine. There was a whole bunch of people. This week was a slower week. It was a slow week for me. I ended the week with a small L. But it'd be like that. Like most people this week, it wasn't the best. It was an NFP week. That's also something to keep in mind. It's a high news week. On high news weeks such as NFP, we have a lot of choppy days that lead up to the day that has that volume, such as Friday. If you weren't there for this morning, I recommend go watch that call because.
I was there.
Hold on, I hear my dog like under my couch, eating something. What are you doing? Yeah, see, you're doing bullshit. You're eating my sweater. What the fuck? Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Damn dogs, man. I got one dog chilling and the other dog's under there like biting my hoodie. How do you know when it's going to be choppy? How do you know when it's going to have a lot of volume? I really don't know. All I can do is just show up and control following the plan, control how much I'm going to risk. I don't know if my trade's going to hit TP2, hit TP1. It's a probability. $500 per trade on the combine, that's fine, but also keep in mind you'll just have about 4 trades, maybe 5 trades on the account. If you're okay with that, there's nothing wrong with it. You know what I mean? I'll risk 1,000 a day on a combine. If I'm okay with that risk, then it's different. You know what I mean? But if you're not okay with the risk, that's another situation because if you aren't willing to get another combine, if you aren't willing to get another challenge, you don't want to risk too much. But if you are willing to do that and you don't want to spend too much time on these combines, then you can risk a little bit more. It just really comes down to just like what are your goals and what you're trying to do with it is. Like I said, if you're trying to do it the slower route, then I wouldn't risk too much. But if you want to do it the faster route and you're willing to get another combine, then you can kind of structure it like that. It's crazy how like the time schedules and shit and all that shit is like, think about it. For him right now, it's nighttime, but for me, it's the afternoon. But when we wake up in the morning to trade at 9 a.m. my time, it's gonna be in the afternoon for him. It's funny how the world works, but yeah, now I'm about to hop onto these other calls. And I showed you guys the stuff with Amazon. I also just realized I want to get something to clean all like my glass and stuff for the monitor screens and everything because my screens be dirty as fuck. So I got 13 minutes till the next call. I'm gonna get onto that, and then yeah, we're on to the next. We're about to hop on second call. Let's get straight to it. Yeah, that's why I like doing the back testing in the weekly sessions because you have all the content on like what the concepts are, but being able to use them all together, how to spot it, like why I'm looking for it as I am, like being able to use it in that form in that way is going to be a lot more beneficial in my opinion because it's like seeing it for everything. Not, okay, you might understand one concept, but you might not know how to use it with everything. You might not know how to now go there step by step. This is what I'm looking for. This is my process. And that's why having those is good, because it's very repetitive. Because if you didn't understand it the first time, you got 4 other days. And if you only understand it from that session, you got another dozen of them now that is just keep doing the same exact thing. Look, and the more you watch them, like I always tell them every single weekend, I look for the same exact thing. The market is not changing. It is not. It does the same stuff over and over and over and over. I might not get the same result, but more times than less, I'm gonna continue getting that result, and that's why I continue trading the same way that I trade. Like, even though I had a small L week this week, it's the same stuff that has made me money in the other week, so I'm not gonna stop doing it because of one small L week.
During the summer, like, do you find less trades, or do you feel like you lose a little bit more, you see less opportunity in the summer?
I would say there's not like a real, oh, this might happen. I just feel like the probabilities of catching trades in the summer aren't as likely. We're slower. We're not trending as much. It's a lot more choppier. It's just like one of those things. Because keep in mind, there's going to be a lot of people that are off. There's going to be a lot of people that necessarily, there's not money moving as much in the summertime. There's people that aren't going to school. If you're trading at these periods of time, you're not aware that the conditions aren't going to be the best. You might likely blame yourself, blame your system, when in reality, the conditions aren't good right now. It's like you're not going to force something in a time. It's like trying to go fishing during a storm. You might be able to catch some fish, but is it worth it? By what cost? Because this is like, you might fuck around, sink the whole ship trying to catch a fish. All right, we're done with that second one. I got a couple of my team members I'm trying to reply to. Sometimes being a one-man army isn't so fun. Like, I was a heavy advocate of do everything yourself, try to get it all done yourself, until you realize you only got so much time in a day. I can't be on one-on-one calls with students all day and make my vlog all day and be the one trying to get new people to join the team and be the one that's gonna edit the content and be the one. You see how many different like roles are required? Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, they got a team behind their ass. Even people like fucking 50 Cent, people like that, they have teams behind them. That's how they get to the next level, because we only have so much time in a day. You got to be able to delineate your time. If you're making money, use that money to make you more money, right? Speaking of money, I'm about to spend some money right now on Amazon. So yeah, hopefully with me ordering all this, I made sure I did as much Amazon Prime as possible. I need this shit as soon as possible. I hate waiting for shit. I need it as soon as possible. So $1,000 later. A whole lot of stuff is being ordered, and a lot of it's coming within the next 2 days. A lot of it's coming 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. tomorrow. So yeah, W setup is gonna be coming soon, coming very soon. You guys seen this stuff. We're gonna have fun with this setup. It's not gonna be nothing crazy, but it's just gonna allow me to really just lock in. Like, if you guys know, watch the vlogs, I'm always over here just because I like having a view, but I have a view over there. It's just the setup isn't set up to where I can actually feel comfortable and enjoy it. I have to sit, stand, desk. The lighting's not good. It's just a weird environment right now, but we're gonna make it work. It's gonna be a fun time. But with that being said, back to calls. All right, so we got a little bit of a change of plans. Spent the money, as you guys seen, and I was gonna hop on a call, but he is driving right now and he wants to do it in an hour. He wants to do it when I have a call with somebody else. And at that time, so I'm trying to get that call that's supposed to be done in an hour done now, but he's not replying. So I'm honestly just waiting. So I'm really just waiting on these two. But if the one that I have at 6 o'clock doesn't reply, then I just got the call in an hour. I probably just fucking confused the fuck out of you. Honestly, I didn't need to confuse you like that. But I was just saying that to say this. I'm about to charge the GoPro and I'm going to give you some content because I'm going to just go for a drive and shit. Why not? Fuck. The little, like, let me show you, give you a little insight real quick. This in here, the GoPro has an SD card. I don't know where the SD card is. Like, it's not in here, meaning it's in like the SD card adapter that I use to plug into this that looks like the adapter in the camera in this, but I don't know where it is. So I'm probably gonna have to use the adapter from in this camera for this. So I can't record them both at the same time, but yeah, I'll see you in the GoPro. GoPro is dying, but we about to get the content. All right, we're gonna see what we can do with this 14% battery. I don't know how we gonna make it work, but we're gonna try our best. So yeah, let's just get to a little driving. Nothing crazy. I just want to give you guys at least a little POV. Oh, let me try not to hit my head on nothing so you guys can actually get a POV in the first place. That's a Cullinan behind me. I'm gonna find him. He just turned right.
We're about to go hunting for a Cullinan. This just went from a POV to a mission. There is a Cullinan that's gonna be turning right, going that way. Okay, so if I go up here and turn right, if I turn right here, there we go, let's keep the momentum. There it is, the Cullinan was just there. It just passed, I gotta catch up. Cully. They're all the way down there. No, Cully, no. He's about to go in the building. I'm trying to catch up to the Cully. He turned. We're going to keep following him. He doesn't even know what's happening. But I just like cars. Probably need to hurry up. Come on. I'm trying to let you go. Betting that I'm going to be able to catch Cully. He gone. He might have went to the building, possibly. Yo, I found him. Well, there you go. Cullinan found. Right back to the road where I turned from. All right, now we're about to see. We got a little clip, so regardless if this camera died, we had a little something. Right now it is approximately about 5:30. Let's drive through channel side, why not? These buildings are nice, but they're not big. Just so you guys know, if you didn't, Deion Sanders' son lives here at the Towers. Expensive place right there.
They just wanna be around the kids cause I'm rich. I was broke, they ain't never come around.
They wanna hit my phone, I ain't having I text back to the dick nasty. When I empty this, gun gon' run. Black man down with a black knees on. Reverse the V, let me see what he on. True shit, we gon' get a little close. Tryna be flashy until he got shame. Entertainment, we take off his chain. Like, my niggas really insane. Fuck. Order my mother, these niggas is what? Any nigga that rated on us, ran out of love. KO, enough is enough, bitch. Don't try to watch everyone scatter. Go through 10 shots after. Flip, you don't play for the lackers. I'm not a stick and extend like a ladder. Bloody shot, he got hit in his bladder. When we start on the scene, disaster. Try to up that beat, but I'm faster. When this body with G19 on my body, who gonna harm me? I'm on the block like 5 steppers on bro, we move like a hobby. We do the shit like call me. Till the first they call me. The fuck is a PFA, bitch, I'm GDK, they know what's up. Top Blake almost was a blunt. I'm so mad we ain't sent him up. I don't care about the OY, I want him shot if he live up the block. Shoot him and finish him. She got the bench and the windows just shitted him. Back in body, he trying to get rid of him. Cooking and cooking, I'm chopping. If I'm spinning, I'm up in the king. If he took it, I'm spinning it. And I try to get kid, I'm feeling like Tay. Up but I'm doing a race. 40 spraying and spraying like Mace. He gon' regret that he switched. Know how he do it, I'ma catch the hit. I showed him love, now it's lit. He can't take back the shit that he did. Get your sense that ain't nobody bigger. What the fools they addicted to triggers.
Yo, what's going on, Brody?
How's it going?
Shit, nothing much right now. I just got back to the crib. How's it going right now with you?
I'm at a damn baptism event thing right now.
Oh, it looks nice over there, though.
The church and stuff. Oh yeah.
Where's it at?
It sure is. Yeah. It's in La Jolla, some Lafayette hotel, something.
Nah, sounds nice.
For you.
How's the weather over there? It looks like it's humid.
Yeah.
I could tell with the camera. I can already tell. Oh yeah, and the palm trees. Oh yeah, it's nice out there though.
For sure nice out here though.
But it's just understanding that you're never gonna have perfect conditions all the time, especially going into conditions right now, going into summer. It's just not ideal. It's just a lot more choppier. It's a lot slower. It's not gonna be the best high probability setups. But it's just at the end of the day, you still gotta understand. Managing risk and managing your emotions is going to be the main thing that's able to keep you in the game long term. Same setup over and over, that's a good thing because you want something that's going to constantly keep happening. Like I like to use the analogy, I heard it from someone, it might have been like ICT or something, but it's like, think of it as like a cookie cutter and dough. The cookie cutter is our system or setup, is we want it to give us the same result every time. Like if we have a star cookie cutter, we don't expect a circle, we don't expect a square, we're expecting a certain result most times, unless not everyone's going to be good. Sometimes they're going to get fucked up, sometimes they're going to fall apart, and that's part of the process, that's part of the game. But more than less times, you're going to get the result you want. And in this case, the cookie cutters are system setup, and the cookie dough is the market. And we just keep applying something that constantly keeps happening over and over and over, and just risking money behind it. But when you go for 1 to 2s, 1 to 3s, you're going to make more for every time that you win. And if you're winning more than you lose, just winning and making money is inevitable just within time. But it's not going to be, like I said, it's still a probability. You can be on that 20% right now of the year where you're losing right now. Like, think about it. If you win 50% of the time, half the time you're going to be losing. If you're winning 60% of the time, 40% you're going to be losing. What if it all happens back to back? You never know. You never know, but it might be that 40%. If you flip a coin, you say heads and you get tails, what are you going to do? It was a 50% chance.
Back in the cribbo. So I don't know how the content came out, honestly. I recorded it with the SD card, like I told you guys, the whole process behind that. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. I popped a pimple too, so if this starts bleeding, you understand why. I didn't need to tell you, but I thought you deserved context. We're about to hop on the last call though. This week was
most definitely, because last week was
trust me,
all over the place.
everybody, like if you watch the video tonight, you'll be able to see a lot of the everyone said the same thing. Everyone said the same thing. Every single person so far said the same exact thing. And it's like, it's good to be able to have the community of people, because you can get other people's perspective. Because if you didn't realize everyone else was also getting cooked, you would have thought it was you, your system, your strategy. Sometimes the market conditions just aren't ideal. Sometimes that shit is just slow. It just comes down to being able to keep yourself in the game from the risk management and emotional control. Like, that's the name of the game. Like, I feel like a broken record when I say it, but it's true, because it's the same. Just people want the answer, and I'm giving it to you. And a lot of times you just won't listen. But I just got to keep on saying it until you actually, like, so when it actually does happen, you realize it, immediately is right there.
Yeah.
And when it came to the stop loss, on US 30, I like to use 50 to 100. Like, I'm either using like 50 points or like 100. That's for US 30. When it comes to NAS, I'm usually risking about 30 to 50. That's the little difference between the two. Now, if you're trading something like ES, 5 to 10 points, because the ranges are just different. Like, that, it's just different. 5 is probably the equivalent to 50, if it makes sense. It's just a little different on the pairs, because
I noticed with US 30 versus NAS, like a 50-point stop loss on NAS is
way wider.
Small compared to US 30 or.
Now, it will be wider. It'll be the other way around. It'll be the other way around.
One of them.
It will be like that, but the other way around. It will be 50 points on NAS is way wider on NAS than 50 points will be on US 30.
Yeah.
That's why I like to use 30 to 50 on NAS, and I like to use 50 to 100 on US 30, because US 30 is way more volatile. It's way more likely to stop you out. It's way more likely to have a big ass wick, and that's why having a little bit of a wider stop can help you. Even sometimes a wide stop is not gonna help, but even then, like, that's when conditions are key, because there's also been times where I've risked 200 points on NAS. The beginning of 2024 is when I started futures. I've been trading US 30 and NAS since Forex, but it's the same pair. But in terms of futures versus Forex, the brokers changed. That futures is what allowed me to trade on TradingView, so I didn't have to use external platforms. But besides that, the same chart, same everything. So that's why I was able to just kind of switch over. All I had to really learn was the platforms and the back end of it, not necessarily how to trade US 30 or NAS, because I already traded them just on the Forex version. All right, team, but this is gonna be where the video is going to be coming to an end. It's been a pretty long video. It's been a pretty informative video, but now it's time for you guys to actually implement what you learned. Education is cool, information is cool, but it means nothing until it's applied. Apply the information you learned from me. Apply the things you learned from books, from teachers, mentors, whatever it may be. Like me giving value to all my students, it means nothing unless they actually use it. Action is key to change. So with that being said, if you want to work with me one-on-one, I got 9 spots available, so you can apply in the first link in the description. The second link is the free trading training. I'll see you guys tomorrow's daily video. Just another day in the life, man. New day, new opportunities, new money. Be grateful, because likely you're gonna wake up tomorrow. So just be grateful ahead of time for where you are.
Trust, it doesn't. But after having this bullish day, this would have led me to really want to see price make a run for this previous high period that never got ran. Considering we have the previous high from Monday that we just created, and we have the previous high from Friday that was so close that never got hit, I definitely would have wanted to see this. And you know what? This is the trade that I missed. I missed this trade. So this is about to be emotional. I remember this shit vividly. Right in here at 10 o'clock. Right in there. We're going to explain it. But overall, like I said, that is why I was mainly bullish. Going into this day, I was bullish because I saw this previous high. I saw we ran this low from Monday. And I saw we had this rejection at 3 in the morning and have been pushing ever since. What do I tell you guys? When you want to pay attention to where the trend is, where we're likely to go, pay attention firstly to London. After London, look at the last day. After the last day, look at the last day after the last day. That's like the order you should go in, because you could be bullish the last 3-4 days, but it's like a situation like yesterday. Not yesterday, well, Monday in this case. You could be choppy and bearish, but on this day, at this time, it was going bullish. So you got to pay attention to where you are right now. Same thing. London was bullish. Previous day was bullish. The highs have a target. So why wouldn't it make sense for me to want to be bullish? That was my thought process. But mainly, I didn't want to see the London low get ran. A lot of the things that I like to see when it comes to following the trend of London is if I'm right, if London left a high probability gap behind, I just don't want to see price run below that London low. So in this case, this was the low that I was expecting to be a safe target. So with that being said, what did I do? I'm pretty sure on this day, what the fuck? Never seen that screen in my life. Pretty sure on this day we ran the previous high and then gave the retracement, because I think we ran the high at 9 in the morning, but then retraced at 10. So with that being said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull a fib from the London low to the 9 o'clock high before we got the retracement. I'm also going to mark up this right here because this is the 4-hour for value gap right in here. I know it's that gap because of the higher time frame, and I told you I was here on this day. If I were to go to a higher time frame, it would just be that 4-hour gap, but this is the 4-hour gap right in here, 4-hour for value gap right in this high. I could tell from these two candles, but also keep in mind, when was this gap created? Right when we made the low of the day during London, right? Funny how the specific areas and price comes back to it, but let me go into it a little bit more. We're going to pull a fib from that London low to the New York high before we started to retrace. Let's get the 50%. The 50% is right there. What is the rule of thumb? If you want to buy below the 50%. If you want to sell above the 50%. It could be as simple as that. The fact that you saw below the 50%, there was this 4-hour gap, that could have been enough. The fact that you're already bullish, the fact that it's at your right time, that's more than enough. If I would have looked at my actual, like the deepest fib levels that I have, which is the 62 to 88%, it barely tapped that. So in this case, the 50% was the ideal one. And in my opinion, for people that aren't as proficient with the fib, start off by using the 50%. Rule of thumb, if you want to buy, if you're bullish, wait for it to get below that 50% or whatever range you drew it from. If you're bearish, wait for it to go above the 50% range. In this case, we came below that 50% range at 10 o'clock in the morning and trade it into a 4-hour gap. That's enough for a trade. 3 to 4 confirmations is all I tell you guys. 10 in the morning, 4-hour for value gap, 50% fib long, and it was overall bullish. So you're following the trend, unlike the last example I showed you where we weren't following the trend. 10 in the morning, 4-hour gap, 50% of the range, and bullish. That's a banger trade in my opinion. If you even want to take it a step further, you got quarter point, 42, 250. If you really want to take it further, and honestly, I'm not even going to take it a step further because you don't even need to. The trade played out regardless. I could find out a million reasons why it might have a reaction, why it might move, but it doesn't matter. The only thing, is it going to move or is it not? I could have gotten just off the fact that I saw a 4-hour gap and I still could have won the trade. Would have made it high probability? Would the risk reward made sense for me to be willing to do that? No. But if I could have stacked up the 10 o'clock, 4-hour, the fib, and the fact that it was bullish, it would have made more sense. Now, in this case, this was a trade that I couldn't catch because as soon as it tapped this 4-hour gap, that shit fell. Like, it went doo-doo, like in a matter of a minute, and I just couldn't catch it. But hindsight, if I would have been stalking it, if I would have had an alert, if I would have been ready to just get in there, the safest possible, and oh my God, the risk reward on this trade was fucking crazy. With a 50-point stop loss, and if you really would have wanted to really be safe, I guess you could have used 100. Let's just see what both of them would have played out as. I say 50 would have made the most sense because, I mean, honestly, either one. Because if you would have used 100 points, your TP would have been at that high that we would have wanted to target for exactly 200 points, exactly a 1 to 2. But if you would have had that 50-point stop, that shit would have been damn near your 1 to 4. So regardless, it was a good trade. Regardless, it wouldn't have put you in much drawdown. Regardless, this is something I will take every fucking day if it gives me the option. I'm just sick I missed it. If I would have caught this trade, I probably, you know, it's kind of crazy. If I would have caught this trade, I wouldn't have lost money this week. I would have ended up probably, yeah, I'd probably be up 1,000 instead of losing 1,000. But since I didn't catch this trade, it was just a day where it was just like probably an L. And this was the trade that if I would have caught it, I wouldn't have had to take other trades. But you know what? Neither here nor there. But that's why we back test to go over shit like this. Because even though I was watching this trade in the moment, even though I was watching it happen real time, it was too fast. It was like I said, the example I said on Tuesday when this was happening, I said, imagine you get to the train, it closes in your face, but it's a bullet train, and it immediately just goes like 100 miles per hour. What are you going to do? You going to chase it? You going to run after the bullet train? Nah, there ain't shit you can do besides wait for the next one, if there is a next one. And you don't know. You just got to wait, and that's what I did. I waited, and I did not get a pullback. I can tell you that. I did not get a pullback. But neither here nor there. That would have been the ideal trade during our session, using London session price action to give us a great understanding. Because like I said, the main reason behind this trade was just all from London. London had a drop, pushed, left its gap behind. And this is an order block too for the people that know what an order block is. I don't necessarily trade them as much no more, but that's an order block. The gap high, the 4 hour, tapped into it right there. It's clean, right? You know what that is? You guys want to know what that is? Asia session consolidated. London ran the low. Got a push. Left the gap behind. Huh. Doesn't it look like the same shit I tell you guys I look for on a daily basis? Don't it? Don't it look like it? The same thing. I wait for it. If you don't catch that low, wait for it to gap. And if you don't catch that gap, just wait. Same shit. The same shit. I look for the same shit. The same shit happens over and over and over and over and over.